Hey kids, today was kind of a crazy day and interesting day. Not many students around, but just kind of a lot of weirdness. So this is part one of the Kieser quiz. It is me alone in my classroom giving you both the questions and the answers. And then part two was recorded with my sixth hour class. I'd gotten through about, I don't know, 14 or so questions, maybe a few more, before I realized that I wasn't recording. So I'm going to give you part one now, and then on this video, and then you can look for Unit 6 Kieser quiz part two, and that'll be what was left of my 6 hour class doing the Kieser quiz. So here we go with the Kieser quiz. Question one, true or false? Proselytes were Gentiles who had converted to Judaism. Oh, I don't see anybody standing up. Oh, I'll stand up. I won't. That's true. Uh, and then the next question is the peace that Jesus gives is permanent. That's also true. The next is the Greeks who sought Jesus in Jerusalem were probably proselytes. That's true. Uh, then Christ did not know who would betray him until Judas left the Last Supper. Everybody, obviously, that's false. The peace that the world seeks is based on faith. That's false. By the time Jesus was crucified, all of his disciples except John had either betrayed, denied, or deserted him. Sadly, that is true. And then the next question is Jesus rebuked Judas publicly for his betrayal. He did not. He just said, what you're going to do quickly. And then true or false, the two purposes of Jesus' death were to defeat Satan and to draw all people to himself, and that is true. True or false, as presented in this unit, Jesus described his death using an illustration of planting a kernel of wheat. True. Um, Here's your fun one. What relative of Mr. Dotzler was the Gatorade Basketball Player of the Year for Nebraska this year? I was very surprised that my students didn't know Josiah Dotzler, best player in the state of Nebraska, as many of those Dotzlers have been. True or false, on the evening of the Last Supper, the disciples were arguing about who would be the first to wash Jesus' feet. That was false. True or false, Jesus' crucifixion took place at the feast during the Feast of Tabernacles. False, obviously. And then the next question is, according to John 15, what is one responsibility of all believers? And the key here is that this comes out of John 15. There's a lot of things that are the responsibility of the believers, but Jesus in this lesson of the vine and the branches said that we are to bear fruit and to love each other. So those are the two things. And then name one thing for which Jesus prayed in his prayer in the garden. He prayed for himself. He prayed for his disciples, and then he prayed for all future believers. He prayed for you. He prayed for me. And then during what feast, Jewish feast, did the crucifixion of Jesus take place? Of course, that was Passover. What term means praying for another person? That's intercessory prayer. What is the literal meaning of the word persecute? It means to pursue. And I believe that I'll do a few more, but I believe that part two picks up somewhere right around here. What can everyone who lives a godly life expect to experience? And in this sense, it's a negative thing, but persecution. And then the word comforter used for Jesus in John 16 can be thought of as which profession? Remember, that was the defender, that was the paraclete, and the profession would be a lawyer, someone who defends another person in a court of law. And at the Last Supper, which disciple was handed a piece of bread dipped in sop? And that was Judas. Which disciple did Jesus say would deny him 3 times? Peter. And I think for sure that we started in by this time with the other class. So now move to Unit 6 Kieser Quiz Part 2 and watch the rest of that. I hope you do well on your test tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.